Everyone, it's Forrest back with another double feature. I know it's been a while, it's been a couple of months. Life happens, but back with for another double feature reviewing two relatively recent movies, and I'm currently doing this from the Unger the Radar studios. Joining me are Unger the Radar host Randy Unger.
Hello.
And Matt Roren.
How do?
As guys, it's great to have you guys on my channel for once.
Yes, sure.
Because Randy, we always do. I'm a regular on your show.
You are indeed.
A
welcome addition every time you're on.
Yeah, so I'm glad you guys could be guests on here. So tonight for tonight's our first movie, their first movie is X from Ty West. It is his first movie in, God, I think it's been more than it's been like 5 or 6 years since his last one.
No,
yeah, because let's see, his last movie was his last movie prior to X was in a Valley of Violence back in 2016.
Yeah. No.
Okay. But yes, he's back. X it stars Mia Goth. Is it Goth or Go? Because
I think it's Goth.
Yeah, I feel like Mia Goth sounds a lot sexier. Jenna Ortega, Brittany Snow, Martin Henderson, Owen Campbell, Stephen Ure, and Scott Miscudi. It's set in 1970s Texas, about involving this crew of a pornographic film who go to film at this rural property owned by an elderly couple, but they end up finding themselves getting offed one by one. Huh. Yeah, with Ty West, I've enjoyed. I mean, I'm a fan. I feel like he is one of the new masters of horror, or like one of the masters of horror of the 21st century.
Yeah, I mean, stylistically, he takes a lot from
70s,
70s,
especially on House of the Devil.
Yeah.
And I feel like he definitely has he is definitely fixated on the 70s.
Yeah.
It's got that vibe.
It's very grimy and sleazy.
It was a throwback to the late 70s, early 80s, and I loved it.
Yes, it's kind of like all the things that like Rob Zombie's into, except he does it much better.
Yeah, much better. Yeah, much better writing and acting. Yeah, well, and directing too. And both of them tend to be, although both of them are New Englanders.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Ty West might be from Delaware. Well, actually, okay. No, he's from Delaware, but I know he did shoot quite a few movies in Connecticut. Yeah. And I know Rob Zombie is a New England guy himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt it's so weird. For me, it was like Ty West had spent his downtime watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Lucille Fulci's Zombie 2, the Toxic Avenger, Boogie Nights, and Home Alone. Put just for that nail to the foot scene.
Oh yeah.
Oof. I mean, that is the most painful nail to the foot scene since Home Alone.
It's like
put all those. It has together.
He puts all those
anxiety too,
and he somehow makes it work.
Yep, definitely.
And it's just so oh god, it's just so, and it's very disturbing. It's like that old
the old couple.
Yes,
very freaky.
And there's some great makeup work. Yes, because she's also played by Mia Goth, right?
The old lady, I think so.
She's also played by me. Yeah. Huh. So I thought that was fantastic.
Although I'd say this, I don't know if this is typically horror movies are, I guess, are typically considered good date movies. Yeah. But I don't know if this is something you want to take a date to. Well, it's kind of,
don't take your grandmother.
I went alone. I went alone. There was a couple behind me. I don't think they had the best time.
Yeah, no, I went alone, but I went by myself too.
This movie's scary. Remember the Batman Returns?
I don't get this. What are they doing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I think also Jenna Ortega, we're less than halfway through 2022, and she has already solidified herself as one of the 21st century scream queens.
Oh yeah.
Between this movie, between Scream 5 and Studio 666, which I'm hoping to review on a future show. I think she's definitely proven herself to be great. She's gotten some good stuff. I think she's definitely got she's already. I'm okay. I'm in circles here, but she's one of the new Scream queens, and I'm hoping that she'll do. I'm hoping that she'll do more.
Yeah.
And then also
She will.
Yes,
Pretty sure she will.
Actually, Randy, how are you feeling about this?
About X?
Yes.
I loved it. It was one of my favorite. It's just very straightforward horror film.
Yes.
And like we mentioned earlier, it's a throwback to the 70s and 80s. What's the term? The last girl standing, or the final girl? Final girl. Yeah, I just love that. It doesn't try to be like overly ambitious or
there's basically it's a great movie where it's like the twists and turns are like, okay, you can see what's coming and you just wait for it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a little psyched out, but then they give it to you.
Yes.
So
it doesn't try to confuse you like a lot of
there's
movies.
there's no
gotcha
MacGuffins. There's no unnecessary like jump scares that are like
it's straight balls to the wall.
Yeah, it's a classic slasher.
Yes,
in every sense.
I haven't seen a movie like this in quite a while.
It's
very refreshing.
Few and far between
very
these
refreshing.
days, everything's got to be like more psychological now.
Everything's elevated.
Elevated horror. Which is and speaking of Scream 5, they go heavily
riff on that.
They go heavily into elevated horror. Yeah.
I mean, I like elevated. I mean, I enjoy elevated horror too.
Definitely.
But sometimes I just want to be like, fuck it. I want to watch blood, guts, and and nudity.
You need. I mean, there has to be a balance, because it's like that's the problem. Is once Hollywood catches on, like, oh, they like elevated horror, it's the only thing we do now. Then they turn every slasher franchise into elevated horror, and then it's like, and
then you got the critics, and then you've got critics who are like, has horror finally matured? Is it finally gone topical? And I'm like rolling my eyes, like, horror has always been like this. It's like you're just not paying attention.
Because it always goes through. Because I mean, we felt it like, even when Scream kind of changed, brought back slashers
into the mainstream,
but it also was a catalyst for a whole genre of self-aware slashers.
Yes,
and it was the closest thing to a real slasher we got, for quite some time, because every copy of it, it watered it down more and more.
Yes.
And that's, that's what's happened with the heightened also. We get great movies like Get Out and,
I was just saying The Witch.
And
or I would say Hereditary and Midsummer.
Midsummer is amazing.
You get movies like that that are game changers in multiple ways. It's you of course always have the horror fans who hate that stuff, and that happened with Scream too, where like Scream came out and all the purists, I don't like it, but the initial films in these genres, every subgenre they make are always fascinating.
Yes.
And then they just get watered down. And we're at that where heightened horror movies are getting more and more watered down. So a movie like this, and like you mentioned Studio 666, breath of fresh air.
Yes.
Because you're just getting blood, guts, insanity.
Sex.
Yeah, exactly.
And some really good sex scenes, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound like a pervert, but it was very.
Because
at least it delivers, right?
Because growing up, I knew, I'd see Brittany Snow on TV as like this wholesome girl next door.
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect, and then like even go back all the way back to American Dream. fans.
No, yeah.
And
Wow.
so this movie was like this. This movie kind of like I was like was definitely definitely looked at her. I saw her a different way this
Yeah.
one to put it lightly.
Yeah,
Right.
and well, yeah, you expect a movie named X to be
Yeah.
to have some of the elements, and it does. So
Yes.
so yeah, it's not for children.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I
for
can
teen-
proudly say I didn't take my kids to see this.
But I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know if kids these days still carry fake IDs.
Yeah, I don't know. But,
So yeah, if you've got a fake ID, if you're one of those kids who still carries who actually still has a fake ID, check it.
yeah,
Check it out. But I would say, I would say for for like the hardcore horror fans, and also if if you don't mind watching, if you're not squeamish, check it out.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
And I think it's definitely going to be one of my favorites. It definitely go. I mean, and for me, I like again, I love Ty West's previous work. And I think he after a long hiatus, he's still got it. I think this is definitely going to be a favorite of the year for me.
And also it's one of these you don't normally get from horror, but stay to the credits.
Yes, yes, there is an after credit scene. I mean, we were talking about I know we've talked about like Marvel's effect on the state of cinema, but yes, it's kind of seeped over into it's kind of seeping over into this movie too, but I would say definitely.
I'm excited for
It's
a
fun.
follow up. So
I hope we get a follow up.
it's supposedly in pre-production. So I'm excited for a prequel.
Also,
Yes.
also, I look forward to seeing this with you guys, a midnight screening, possibly at the Nighthawk in the future.
Yeah.
This has
Yes.
midnight screening written all over it. So looking forward to that, hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
Or if not, Unger the Radar or your show, we can do a little commentary.
Sure. Actually, I haven't considered doing commentaries for this channel yet. Maybe it's an idea
for sure.
And actually, because earlier I mentioned there was a Toxic Avenger. I feel like there's some Toxic Avenger throwback in this movie, which I'm gonna, I've got my Toxic Avenger T-shirt on. I feel like this is going to be a good time to segue into our next movie. Our second feature is Troma's hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm. Is the latest in-house production from Troma Entertainment, the makers of the Toxic Avenger and the Class of Nukem High. And it's also supposed to be Lloyd Kaufman, writer-director Lloyd Kaufman's final movie as director. I believe he's retiring from directing after this and focusing on producing and making appearances in movies.
Cool. So we'll still have Lloyd in the business.
He'll still do most of the Lloyd things, just
the Lloyd.
Yes,
just not the directing part.
You're right. Actually, this movie actually came out in 2020, but now that the pandemic has kind of cooled down a bit, it's finally getting a theatrical release. I've already seen this movie 3 times around 4 times. No, I've seen this movie 4 times in theaters already.
Wow. You're dedicated, sir.
Yes, I am a big Tromaniac. But it's basically the movie is what I would call a scatological take on Shakespeare's The Tempest, where in this version, Prospero, played by Lloyd Kaufman, lures a yacht full of pharmaceutical executives. They actually get caught in a storm. Their yacht is caught in a storm. Filled with
is this spoilers? I don't know.
I mean, it's just kind of just like
this movie's been out. On the same time. Well, on one hand, this movie's been out 2 years. At the same time, at the same time, it's just finally getting a wide release. It's finally getting a theatrical release. Yeah. So,
but the shitstorm.
Yes, they're caught in it. Yes, the crew, these pharmaceutical executives are partying on a yacht. They're caught in a literal shitstorm. with getting shit on by by killer whales
that are basically hovering over the ship, and they're shitting onto the deck.
They're pooping the deck literally,
and it's exactly how you're picturing it, Matt.
Yes. And so they all wash up on shore in Tromaville, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Where they hang out in Prospero's club. And actually Lloyd Kaufman pulls double duty in this one as both
double duty
as Prospero and
he said duty.
Prospero oh god, I'm already forgetting Prospero's sister's name. I've got it's been wrong because I read The Tempest in college.
It's been a while.
I feel like being this is being Lloyd Kaufman's directorial swan song. I think he really he definitely got on a high note on this one.
Yeah,
like
when it comes to Lloyd Kaufman, they're all high notes.
Yes.
Well put.
Well, except for Toxic Avenger parts 2 and 3.
Well, yeah. Sequels never fare as well.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Toxic Avenger. I love Toxic Avenger 4. I did like the last 2 Class Nukem High movies.
Yeah,
which
they were fun.
Yeah. Which I maybe just for the sake of journalistic integrity, if you can call it that, or just a disclosure that I was a Kickstarter backer on Nukem High Volume 2.
Yeah,
and they did Troma did put out a music video for this movie for Shitstorm's theme song, which I appeared in. A
true Tromaniac, was it? Yeah.
Yes.
Tromaniac.
When in Trom.
But
it was a Tromans.
Yep, and it's got a lot of the classic tropes of Troma. You've got body melting, lots of bodily fluids and functions. You've got the famous Sergeant Kabuki Man car flip,
Nice.
and a lot of the regulars are in there. Unfortunately not Lemmy, who passed away several years ago.
Yeah.
Or same with Joe Fleischker. Ron Jeremy, who has become a regular to Troma. He's in there. I'll admit that's probably the one aspect of this movie that probably hasn't held up in the years since it was produced, since it went to production. I'm not gonna give them any shit for it. It's a kind of a hindsight. It was a hindsight 2020 thing. Hindsight's 2020
in 2020
thing.
Pre-prison
yes.
Ron Jeremy, but it happens.
Yeah. Look at DC. All their whole about half their universe is already got in trouble with the law.
Yeah,
and those movies haven't even come out yet.
I know. They haven't even finished filming the movie, and it's already like, what are we gonna do? No. So,
but anyway, Randy, you caught Shitstorm with me at a screening in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I know you're not quite as immersed in Troma lore.
Not yet, but I'm getting there.
But how did you? But
this movie was so crazy. So the visuals were insane. I love the performances, especially the multiple performances from Lloyd.
Yes,
that was a lot of fun to see him in a dress with lipstick,
in a Snow White costume.
Yeah, perfect.
Which is to me so funny, especially as someone who because Lloyd is a very outspoken critic of Disney.
Okay. So he handled it very well. I think this is a perfect film for him to go out on as a director, because he threw in so much stuff, so much
satire,
so many great gags.
Yes,
you can tell the entire cast is having a great time filming this, and it's just so off the wall. It's like, how can we top this scene? And they do it. They managed to top that scene. Yeah,
but that you gotta watch more Troma.
I know.
Yes,
that's like every one of the movies, man.
I love it, and that's over 40 years of content, right?
Almost 50. Actually, almost 50.
Right. A lot of classics. Every movie feels like a party.
Yes.
and you feel like you're invited to it too. So
And Forrest and I were actually part of
Yeah.
that party a month ago, and we're going to be a part of that party this weekend.
Yeah.
I bring on their on Troma's upcoming movie, Bring on the Dam, which is from Brandon Basham, who is who actually was the writer of this movie.
Yeah, he did a great job. Great job.
Yes,
For sure.
I feel like this is probably because this is actually Troma's second, Troma and Lloyd's second Shakespeare adaptation, because he did Romeo and Juliet back in the mid to late 90s.
yeah,
I think Romeo and Juliet was the perfect thing to do when he was younger.
yeah.
And Shitstorm is the book is with the feels like a proper bookend.
Yeah.
And Matt, with Cult Cafe, because even though you have not seen this movie, but you've got Cult Cat. You have
Oh well, we
Cult
were.
Cafe
This is one of those things that I mean, we had Lloyd, in person with the last Nukem High movie.
Yes,
and we basically made plans that when this movie came out, we were going to screen it.
yes.
Then
I was hoping they would get along. You guys get along.
And sadly, I mean, we also had another Troma screening booked.
Mutant Blast. I had a ticket for that.
For Mutant Blast. And I was so excited about that because the filmmakers from Brazil were going to come.
Yeah.
And then it was like the weekend after the pandemic. So it was like literally a year, 3 years ago now?
2 years ago.
2 years ago next week. It was supposed to be the first weekend in May. And, or whatever. And it was I just hated having to cancel that. And then, I was looking forward to having him back for Shakespeare Shitstorm. And I mean, obviously with the cinema reopening within the next couple of weeks, there's a possibility we can get it going.
I've got my fingers crossed. Although I should mention that I did actually last summer I caught Mutant Blast at Film Noir in Brooklyn. So I mean I did watch it on Troma streaming at Troma Now. But last summer I finally got to see it on the big screen.
That's a movie I need to see on the big screen.
It's really good.
I watched it on the app and it is a lot of fun.
Yes.
Now, far
it's a zany movie.
Is the Troma Now app worthwhile? Is it?
I mean, it's $5. I mean, it's $5 a month.
Yeah.
It's got pretty much every just about everything Troma's ever produced on there. The only thing that or either produced or distributed, barring movies that they once had distribution rights for and that have lost over the years, like Femme Fontaine, Killer Baby for the CIA, or there was another one that they had used to have. I think Girl School Screamers. They used to have the distribution rights for that, but I think they lost it.
All right.
But they've also got some plenty of acquired movies. Some from many are from DIY filmmakers.
Good.
They've also have some acquired movies like McBain with Christopher Walken. Yes, there is a real McBain movie.
Yep.
Nice.
But I will say Walken himself is no Rainier Wolfcastle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might download this app. I'm
I mean it's I mean, especially you haven't seen a lot of these films.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to play catch up. $5 a month.
Yeah. You can go on there and watch. You can see see Kevin Costner, Paul Walker, Fergie, and Vincent D'Onofrio in their very first film roles.
Awesome. What's Kevin Costner's first?
Sizzle Beach, USA. It's a raunchy comedy.
Okay. Early 80s?
Early 80s.
Okay.
Although I think it started production in the 70s. Also, John G. Avildsen, who directed Rocky and Karate Kid.
Right.
He started out at Troma. He directed a movie called Cry Uncle.
Okay.
With Paul Sorvino. That's another one. I'd recommend checking that out.
All right.
Which when Lloyd was at the cinema, mentioned that he also shot the Philly scenes in Rocky.
Yes, actually, because he was a location scout on Rocky. Rocky was originally supposed to be filmed in LA, but the Teamsters stopped them, and Lloyd is the reason why Rocky ended up in Philly instead of LA. And I think the movie was a lot better for it. He also has a small role in the first Rocky movie as a drunken bum. The drunken bum that Rocky carries into the bar.
Yeah. Okay. John G. Alvis.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
R.I.P. By the way. And Shitstorm does have a dedication to him at the end.
Nice.
So I guess I think we're definitely say Troma in general is kind of definitely an acquired taste, much like X, but like I would say Troma is even more so. More so.
Well, I'll tell you a movie that reminded me of this came out a couple of years back, The Greasy Strangler.
Yes, I love that movie.
Felt like a Troma film to me.
I mean, I'm sure there's some influence.
I feel like this is going to be. I feel like this is a subject that's been on my mind. Is the greatest Troma movies that Troma never made. Like they feel like Troma movies, but they're not.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a subject for a whole other discussion. Greasy Strangler, Street Trash.
Yeah, Street Trash.
But Shitstorm, I put it on my top. I had it on my top 10 list for 2020 when I first saw it. I think it was playing at some. I think if I recall correctly, it premiered at this. It was Montreal. It was like the Montreal. Let me look. I'm just gonna go down to the. Okay, it was. Yeah, August 20th, 2020. Canada, okay, because I remember. The Fantasia Fest, Canada's Fantasia Festival. They had an online festival. That's where I first saw it.
Is it still playing at the Cinema Village?
I think this past week was its last. I think this week, either this week or last week was its last week.
Okay,
but it's been playing. But it's been playing in Manhattan, in Brooklyn. Actually, I caught it in Brooklyn last week, and then Manhattan, Brooklyn. I went to the red carpet premiere at the Museum of Moving Image here in Queens.
Nice.
A screening in New Jersey, and then I know that there was some online festival based in Boston that had it too. I caught it there too.
It's not streaming on Troma now.
Not at this time. It's not. You can't even rent. I mean, I know that with Troma's newer with some newer releases, they have movies that are like. You have to pay extra to watch them,
right?
Like,
sort of like the Disney.
Exactly. But they're not going to pay. Yeah, but they're not charging you your firstborn to watch it.
That's good.
But if you haven't, whereas like X, it's playing in every neighborhood, AMC and Regal, in worldwide. I think with Shitstorm. It's Troma movies. They don't play in your neighborhood multiplexes.
Yeah.
If there's a screening, if you happen to have a screening in your area, or if it's playing at any online festivals, check it out.
Yeah. It's just a fun time, and they throw everything at you. It's definitely a kitchen sink type of scenario.
Everything but the kitchen sink. Yeah, and I feel like he's got a lot to say about he's got a lot to say about. The pharmaceutical. With this one, he's got a lot to say.
He's so industry. Like he's such an educated, and it's. I love how.
I mean, he went to Yale.
His films are so smart, even though like they feel like they're like the dumbest shit ever.
No, there's a lot of subtext.
Like
no, that's not even subtext. It's in your face.
He's the king of satire. I mean, he really is like one of the last like great satirists in cinema.
Yes, especially in like independent cinema.
Yeah. I mean, there's a definite message in every movie, no matter how disgusting or weird it is,
or gratuitous.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, I think with this one he was, he takes on the pharmaceutical industry, and he also skewers cancel culture.
Yeah.
And people in political. Troma has never been politically correct. Let's put it that way.
They couldn't exist if they were.
His depiction.
They're like anti that.
Of depiction of blind people is handled very interestingly.
That's one of his at least been one of his trademarks, at least since going back to the Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah, you're right. Good point.
Yeah.
But Shakespeare Shitstorm. I don't know if it's still playing in New York, here in New York, but again, if you have a chance to see, if your local independent theater or film festival is playing it, go see it, or just go contact your local theaters and say, hey, I want to play Troma. I want a Troma movie, this Troma movie to come to our theater.
When you say the word Shakespeare Shitstorm and they hang up on you, you're like, come on.
It's not as bad as it sounds. No, it's a really funny movie.
Yes. All right. And so I think we pretty much covered ground here.
I think so.
I guess this is the point where we introduce ourselves. If you got any plugs or anything you guys want to.
Yeah. So Unger the Radar, it's my show. You can check it out every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, also on cable TV in New York City. And you can check out older episodes of Unger the Radar on the Unger the Radar YouTube channel. Subscribe and share.
And Matt?
And if you're in the mood to buy some pickles and some DVDs or some VHS tapes, just got some good ones in. We got a store called Pickle Island in Bayville, New York.
Long Island.
Out on Long Island. And we sell all kinds of things from pickles to comic books and DVDs, CDs, VHS, video games. And we have another location in Glen Cove, 18 Forest Avenue, and we're at 12 Ludlam Avenue in Bayville as well. And hopefully have some stuff coming in Cinema Art Center soon in Huntington, New York. So that's reopening very shortly.
I can't wait to go. That place is like a church to me.
Yeah, same here. It's a church that I got to. I spent 10 years. I got to I started going there in high school, and then many years later, ended up working there for 10 solid years, and then even hosting and curating my own show, weekly program. Which I hope will kick back into effect. And Shakespeare Shitstorm, of course, is one of the things I would love to bring there.
I will definitely be there.
So definitely keep your eyes open on that, cinemaartcenter.org, or join us on Facebook at the Cult Cafe or the Cult Cafe Not So Secret Society group, which will hopefully be back in action very shortly.
All right, and gentlemen, I want to thank both of you. I want to thank both of you for coming on my channel. I hope we can do this again soon.
Definitely.
And Randy, I'm looking forward to being on set back for another day of shooting of Bring On the Damned. And continuing to make truly independent cinema.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's make some movie magic.
Yes. And also on that note, thank you for watching. If you like what you see here, hit like and subscribe. And long live the video store.